If you are the parent of a 16 to 20-year-old, I need you to do something for me. Really, I need you to do it for your child and for yourself so you understand what's going on. You only need 3 things: piece of paper, something to write with, and your kid. I work with 16 to 20-year-old kids to give them custom career roadmaps. A lot of them come from the public or private school system. One of the things that I ask them at the beginning is how many jobs they can think of. There are thousands and thousands of job types, a million different ways to work. If your children come through a formal school system, especially public school, do you want to take a wild guess how many jobs they can think of off the top of their heads? By the way, it's almost always the same jobs. You want to guess? 12. 12. They can think of 12 jobs. And of those jobs, most of them require the purchase of a college degree or multiple degrees, which is interesting since most of the employed US workforce is degree-free. And remember when I talked about a million ways to work? That implies small business or freelancers. There are a million ways to work, and a college degree is not required for those things. High schools are college pipelines. Whether you believe it's to sell loans the way that I do or not, when our high schoolers can only think of a set few jobs and most of them require you to buy from a college menu when most work and most jobs do not require you to buy from a college menu, something is terribly, terribly wrong. So what are we going to do about it? This is what I do with my clients. I go through an interest inventory and we discuss their interests, their current skills, and most importantly of all, the life goals that they have. I do not mean career goals. I do not mean work goals. Because making your entire life about work instead of about what you need in order to live the way that you want is ridiculous. And it sets people up to be miserable. Also puts them in a position where they have little power from their identity and their value, which they've tied to work, being taken away from them by someone else. Vocational creativity. Vocational creativity is the degree-free solution to I can only think of 12 jobs when there are literally thousands of them. It is criminal that so many kids are being pushed into these jobs and that they all require them to buy paper in order to work. And a lot of them that require you to buy paper will not be able to pay back what you paid for the paper, which is part of the problem. The third thing is skill stack and skills gap analysis. Your skill stack is what you already know how to do. Some of your kids have hard and soft skills that are already super valuable, but they don't even realize their skills and they don't even know what they're called and they don't know how to explain them. The skills gap analysis is what a degree should be doing, which is filling the skills gap that they do not have. I am not exaggerating when I say that for a lot of your kids, if they just learned how to use Excel really well, that would be more valuable than a bachelor's degree. Just Excel by itself. And this is not even for tech careers. This is just for work in general. Step 4 is after you walk your kids through their goals, their life goals, and then jobs that fit those life goals, fit those income goals, fit those schedule goals, and then you figure out what they have that already lends itself well to whatever jobs come out here, and you figure out what they need to learn, then you have to go through and figure out how they can learn each thing. There's a lot on the internet, so take your time, research, but there's boot camps, there's courses, there's massive open online courses, there's free resources. There are people who have designed entire curriculums for extremely complex subjects, even theoretical math, that have been put up online that are free and accessible to all of us. It has never been easier to educate yourself, to learn, to be an educated individual than it is right now. You don't have to pay a red cent to these corrupt colleges shilling student debt to minors. Follow along, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down how I do each one of these. So if you have time or energy to do this yourself, you can. My motivation is very selfish. I do not want to live in a society where people believe they are educated because they purchased something. I do not want to live in a society where people are in debt and unable to get jobs that pay back their debt. Every time I work with a kid and get a good outcome, all I see out of this is that I have taken $500,000 away from this massive machine that is currently ruining the lives of millions of Americans. All you have to do is not buy, and I'm going to walk you through it. Follow and I'll break down the interest inventory.